One day I went to the market. That shopkeeper, he saw me and then this boy. Sir, who is this boy? Yes. I told him, he's my son. Arey Abba, my Lord, Allah, kya hai? He asked me, sir, this boy comes in near my house and catches cobras. I have seen it with my own eyes. He might have mistaken, I said. No, sir. So 2-3 times I have seen him. He has catches cobras and all that, sir. Be very careful.
I've been involved with snakes from a very early age. When I say early, I caught my first snake probably when I was 5.5 years of age.
Everywhere in my room there would be snakes. Generally cobras, sometimes vipers. You would know where they are. One is hanging from there, another is in the bed. They would get under the blanket and you have to move very carefully. If you make one wrong movement, it will bite you. So it would be a great exercise in awareness for me. And slowly I gained a reputation where anywhere a snake came in that area, they would come and call me. So I went and caught this snake which is almost 12 feet long, a very big cobra. I had it as a pet under my bed.
So it happened, I was into business by then, very successful for those times. Nobody expected me to be that successful in such a short span of time. And I'm already into half a dozen commercial activities and all of them are flourishing. Of course, I'm doing a whole lot of circus. My schedule was like morning 5:30 to 11 in the night every day. I'm on, doing variety of things. But when everything that you do is working and successful, slowly you begin to think the planets are not going around the sun, they're actually doing their rounds around you. So I'm in such a state of absolute certainty about everything. You're young, everything is working, people around you are clapping their hands. This is it. So one afternoon, I had nothing much to do between 2 business meetings. And this is a kind of a culture, a tradition in my soul that if whatever we want to do, if you want to camp, we go and camp on Chamundi Hill. We want to trek, it's Chamundi Hill. We want to have a party, Chamundi Hill. You fall in love, it's Chamundi Hill. If you fall out, you have to go to Chamundi Hill. If you have nothing to do, you go to Chamundi Hill. So I rode up and this was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I went and sat on I'm very familiar with the whole hill. I sat on a particular rock.
For the first time, I did not know which is me and which is not me. What was me was just spread all over the place. I thought this madness lasted for 5-10 minutes, but when I came back to my normal ways of being, 4.5 hours had passed. I'm sitting right there, fully conscious, eyes open. I sat there around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 7:30 in the evening. Sun has set and I thought it's only 10 minutes, but 4.5 hours had passed. For the first time in my adult life, tears were flowing to a point where my shirt is completely wet. Me and tears were impossible, I'm like this. I've always been happy, that's never been an issue for me. I was successful with what I was doing, I was young and no problems. I was fine, but I'm bursting with another kind of ecstasy which is indescribable. Every cell in my body is just bursting with ecstasy. I had no words. When I shook my head and tried to ask my skeptical mind, okay, what's happening to me? The only thing that my mind could tell me was, maybe you're going off your rocker. I didn't care what it was, but I didn't want to lose it because this is the most beautiful thing that I had ever touched, and I had never imagined that a human being could ever feel like this within himself. So when I went to my closest friends and said, see, something is happening to me like this, as I'm talking, tears would flow, and people would say, did you drink something? Did you pop something? What did you do? I knew there was no point talking to anybody because if I just look at the sky, tears will come. If I look at a tree, tears will come. If I close my eyes, tears will come. I'm just bursting. In 6 weeks' time, everything about me changed so dramatically and I just lost the sense of time. The next time this happened was very significant because there were people around me. I went and sat with my family at the dinner table. I actually thought it's 2 minutes, but 7 hours had gone by. I'm sitting right there, fully alert, but I have no sense of time. This happened many times. One day I'm just sitting in my farm and I thought I sat there for about 25-30 minutes, but I have sat there for 13 days. By then a crowd has gathered, India being what it is, there are huge garlands all around me. Somebody is asking how to run his business, somebody wants to know when his daughters will get married. All the nonsense I hate it, just happening around me. And I actually thought it's only 25-30 minutes, but these people saying 13 days he's sitting, he's in samadhi, he's this, that. I had not even heard these words. I grew up on, European philosophy, Camus, Kafka, Dostoevsky. You read that stuff in America? And being 60s, Beatles and this and that, I grew up like that. Me and spirituality are another world. There's no chance of me going there. So I had none of these vocabulary, samadhi, this, that stuff in me. People are saying, oh, he's in this kind of samadhi, he's in that kind of samadhi. You touch him, this will happen, and people are trying to grab me. So the only thing that I could do was leave the place and travel out, just to escape this, because I couldn't figure what's happening around me.
And as this experience deepened into me, one thing that happened to me was that suddenly the equation of time and space was suddenly not applicable for me. I was seeing that what is here is there, what is there is here, past, present and future got mixed up. It was one majestic chaos, but utterly beautiful. So, my skeptical mind not able to come to terms with it, on a certain day, I just, in a field hockey game, I fractured my left ankle and I went and sat down in a place. I was in excruciating pain, and by then I had also become a chronic asthmatic, and I had a very severe bout of asthma. And this pain and this inability to breathe together, they were quite something. At that moment it occurred to me, if the maker of this body is inside, why is it that I cannot mend this from inside? I sat down with a certain resolve. If this is true, I must be able to allow it to mend itself, otherwise I must be completely on a wrong track. I sat down with my eyes closed for about little more than an hour. When I came out, my asthma left me, never to come back again. And above all, my fractured leg was perfectly okay in little more than an hour's time. Armed with this experience, I started creating methods and systems through which every human being could access that intelligence and that capability within the system which can make a piece of bread into a human being.
And when I found that just if you sit here, being untouched by the physical and mental processes, you could be ecstatic, I thought the whole world will want it. Well, then I sat down and made a plan for the population that was there at that time. I thought a plan of action for 2.5 years, I will make the whole world blissful. See what a failure I am. So then I started in my own way because I've been practicing yoga since I was 12 years of age. I thought this is a good way to share my experience. My effort was to somehow rub off my experience of blissfulness and ecstasy upon people. Then I found, though I knew half the town, for various reasons I was socially active and people knew me. But when I tried to enroll them into my program, which was a 2-hour, 4-day program, nobody wants to come because lot of people had concluded that I'm dangerous. Why am I dangerous? Simply because our a few businesses that I had built by my own dint. I didn't owe money to anybody, nor did anybody give me anything to make these things happen. When I suddenly decided to just drop them, people thought this is very dangerous, he's a wrong influence upon us. So nobody wants to come. Then I had to cajole them, coerce them, threaten them to somehow get me to my program. Only 7 people turned up. But I'm extremely grateful to those 7 people because till that time, I was in a kind of condition where I was not willing to learn anything from them, learn anything from anybody, nor was I capable of teaching anything to anybody. Teaching was not my forte in any way, but these 7 people, I'm grateful to them because they came and sat down. First day, 2 hours. Second day, these 2 hours became 5 to 6 hours. Third day also similar kind of hours. When fourth day came, they said, this is too good, we want to listen some more. So it got extended to 5 days and then 6 days. Then it became a 6-day program. No control over what happens, simply whichever way it goes. What I saw was, from 1982, 83 to 89, for those 6 years, nearly 7 years maybe, 6.5 years, when I conducted these programs for all kinds of people, everybody was dazzled, but they didn't know what I was trying to say. They knew there is something here of value, but nobody could figure out what it is. Initially, I was kind of okay At least I'm leaving people dazzled, they'll go home and think and get it. But then I saw leaving people just dazzled is no good. So in 87, 88, I transformed the whole way I transmit things and try to bring an experience by shaking them to a point. At least 80% of them would be crawling. If I'm just speaking, they would be crawling on the floor all over the place, not knowing what's happening to them. So that was a good mop of the floor, but tears and crawling and screaming was happening. But I knew if we have to reach the world, we have to refine this further. So I tried to teach in many ways. Programs were never standard. Sometimes these programs for 6 days, sometimes 12 days, 13 days. Then a time came when, I would do one program and then disappear. Nobody knows where I am, I'm just gone across the country and come back and again start another program fresh. So people started, too many people, and slowly they said, we want more, more, more. I got trapped. Then we thought we will train teachers. Once training of teachers came up, then we had to standardize the program, which I didn't like because I could walk in and talk about just anything and it would still work. Now I had to talk about the same thing. It was extremely difficult for me to talk about the same thing in every class. For about 2 years, I struggled to talk about the same thing. It's very, very difficult because I was not made that way. I am not structured in that sense. So it took a lot of beating myself up and structuring myself so that I deliver a structured program so that we can train people. Even then, when I decided to train people for teaching this basic program that today we call as inner engineering, everybody, whoever, those few people that we brought in to train, they said, there is no way anybody else can teach this program, how is it even possible? To make them believe that they can do it, it took a lot. But once we trained them, then people came back and told me, Sadhguru, your teachers are better than you. I said, that's great. It's well established, well documented that it changes so dramatically that you can be a completely new person in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. This much is possible. The yoga center and the various other infrastructure we're building in Bangalore and the yogic city that we're building in United States and also the Delhi center that will come up soon, all these things and more all these things and more are focused towards human well-being, towards providing tools and right kind of atmosphere where people can work towards their own well-being. Let's make it happen.